right, chat. Let's talk about the drone stuff. Apparently in New Jersey, Stream Elements confusion, probably. Let's talk about. Let's go take a look at the weird drone sightings. Apparently it's happening in New Jersey. I have no idea. I don't know. Zhao says there's like a mothership above New Jersey that's just sending a bunch of drones down to people. You know, apparently that's the theory that's happening right now, but I don't know anything about the drones.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about these mystery drone sightings that have been happening over the last couple of weeks now. This has been this weird ongoing situation here in the United
States. Watch it be a prank or something like that, you know? I'd be like, pranked you, bro.
States, where in multiple different states now at this point there have been these wild random reports about random drones just kind of flying around, and it's been primarily centralized in the northeast of the country, places like New York, Massachusetts, and whatnot.
It could be like Amazon testing out like drone delivery stuff. It could be, to be honest. It's probably not out of the question that someone is experimenting with drones or something.
But there have also been sightings and reports and airport closures, things like that in other areas, including here in my home state of Ohio. So obviously we've...
Oh, Ohio. I feel sorry for you, Optimus. The Ohio jokes never stop.
Seen this all over the news. We've been seeing this all over social media, especially the last few days. There's been all kinds of different concepts, conspiracies, ideas on what this really could be. No one really seems to have a clear and definitive answer. I mean, there's been government officials from like the...
A new law in New Jersey basically unbanned drone flying at nighttime. I see.
City to the federal level that have discussed this at this point. We've never really gotten any answers on what's going on here, but social media has been getting flooded with footage. People are like going outside, filming what's going on out there. There's even...
To be honest, I didn't even know anything about this. I like I said, I don't really go on social media as much, so I don't know anything about this. This is all brand new to me. I don't know shit about this whole entire, you know, drone fiasco.
People saying that they're gonna try and like shoot these drones down to figure out what's going on, right? There's a lot of panic, a lot of unrest really over this entire situation, because like I said, there's not...
Why are people panicking? Why? Why are they just panicking? It makes no sense.
Really been any actual like official statement on what it is, so people are just kind of freaking the fuck out, and I mean rightfully so, because this is a pretty scary and confusing situation altogether, because as it stands no one really knows, is this like a foreign country that's flying these drones over here, or is this some kind of like government
because you have mysterious drones. Some say it's as big as an SUV. Really? Big as an SUV? That's crazy. If that's actually true. Maybe they're just probably testing out something. I don't know. Somebody's testing out something. I don't think it's gonna be like super dramatic, like oh, you know, the Russians are invading or something, you know. No, it's probably something simple. You know, people are just kind of blowing it out of proportion, you know, as always. When humans get really scared, you know, and all this other things, you know, their imagination kind of runs wild, you know. It's kind of a normal thing that usually happens, you know.
Top secret experiment that like no one is really allowed to know anything about. Some people speculate, oh brah, the drones are from the aliens are monitoring us. I've seen rumors from people online that the drones are like supposed to be radiation detecting drones, and they're like worried a nuclear device or something has been smuggled into the United States, and
holy shit, dude, these are some wild fucking like takes that I've ever heard so far. Damn, dude.
That's what they're looking for. There's a lot of different theories and situations really going on around this.
I think it's a pretty
to give you guys a little
simple one, to be
backstory
honest.
here, there's been dozens, maybe even hundreds at this point of sightings. Like I said, mostly in the Northeast, but it's gotten to the point where people in other states are also starting to report that they're seeing weird drone activity. For instance, I live here in Ohio, and yesterday a bunch of news outlets reported that on Friday night, a couple of nights ago, Wright Patterson Air Force Base, which is one of the largest military installations in the world, one of America's like premier Air Force bases, right? Apparently the airspace at Wright Pat was closed down because there was some sort of like drone situation going on there. I've seen people on social media in like Oklahoma reporting drones, of course, like all over the East Coast it's going down. So people are worried because it's not like this is in one town or something. It's not like a very localized problem. This is a broad situation, and it seems like with the more news coverage and everything that it's getting, the more reports are starting to like come in. You know, people are like, oh, I'm seeing these drones. Now, some of the videos and some of the photos, not all of them, of course, but some of them,
drones in the sky means no flying. No flying through it, because drones getting stuck in engines is a problem. Yeah, because I assume if like the drone gets stuck in the engine, the whole entire plane's gonna fall crashing down and everything, or blow up or something like that.
That are being posted online are people misidentifying aircraft and whatnot. Like, I've seen a couple pictures where people are like, oh, look at this drone I caught, right? And you look closer at the picture, it's got like FCC regulated lights on it. It's in the shape of an airplane and whatnot. So not every single one of these sightings is credible or like guaranteed to have been a drone. But the issue is obviously no one has an answer on what's going on here. So it's also all in the news. People are of course going to be out looking, trying to figure out what's going on. Of course, with all the panic of what it could be, people are just kind of crossing wires, you know, they're panicking. It makes sense because that's kind of just what people do in times like this when people are worried and there's no real answer. The government clearly isn't giving anybody any details on what's really going on here, so people are just kind of trying to find their own conclusions now, which is a pretty bad thing in my opinion, right?
True.
Like, if I could press a button right now and the government would explain what's going on, I would definitely do it. But the thing is, there's...
You're running your new system now and or needed tweaking still? I haven't tweaked anything on it, so I have noticed that I have peaked. There's been multiple times that I've peaked my shit, so yeah.
So many different things that could be going
on. It's a normal thing to get scared though about the whole drone situation. Oh yeah, Sage, just letting you know, we're apparently like somewhere in America or something. There's like a bunch of drones flying in the middle of the night, apparently, and like people are panicking. Some people think it's like an alien invasion, or like there's like the Russians or some crazy thing, you know, is it's not only in New Jersey. He literally said it's not only in New Jersey. It's also in his home place, Ohio, too, as well. So it's actually happening in other states, not just New Jersey. Free drones, I'll come over and grab them. Hey man, might as well, you know, shit. All you gotta do is just shoot them out of the sky. That's all you gotta do, you know. It's a free drone.
Right, so like I said, there's a bunch of different theories that are running right now. I think a congressman, I may be mistaken on this, don't quote me for certain, but somebody in the government recently made the claim that like there could be this Iranian mothership off the east coast of the U.S.
An Iranian mothership. Oh, who called the 20 kill streak in Call of Duty?
US, and it could be operating these drones, basically insinuating that Iran is flying these drones all over the country. Now, the Pentagon came out and they said that this wasn't what was going on, and I mean, personally, I don't think Iran is behind this entire thing. Iran can't even stop countries from, like, blowing their shit up in their own country. I really don't see them, like, bringing some mothership that the US couldn't detect off the coast of the US, you know, densely populated like centers over there in New York City, Washington, D.C., whatnot. I just don't see that, so that theory seems like it's pretty dead in the water. Now, a lot of people, of course, think that maybe China is involved or Russia. I think compared to Iran, this is more likely because obviously China is much more technologically advanced. I think if any other country could actually pull that off, it would be them. Now, I'm not saying that this is what it is for certain. I'm just saying, like, if we're going on the theory that it's like a foreign interference thing, I would think the most likely culprit would be China. It could also be Russia, but I mean, Russia is dealing with all the shit in Ukraine right now and in Syria. area. So I feel like their hands are a little tied up at the moment. I don't know. That's just what a lot of people are thinking right now. I will say it is pretty odd that like all of these sightings are happening. You know, the government is investigating it. They're talking about, yeah, we're looking into the cause of all this, right? No one seems to have any answers on what's going on, right? Now, there's another big theory going around right now, especially on like Twitter. People are speculating that these drones, like I said, they detect radiation or like nuclear devices, and people are speculating that
How do they know that they're speculating radiation though? Like, how do these people know? Is this a thing that's happening right now? Question mark. I feel like these are just like wild guesses and takes.
how they're like looking for a lost nuke or like a smuggled in nuke that could be used to harm people.
What?
Of course, there's really no actual evidence to
It
suggest
sounds like
this,
it to
so
me.
I would take this with a grain of salt as well, you know what I mean? But is it possible? Sure, but I don't really think that's what's going on either. I feel like there's probably better ways to go about it if you're like looking for a nuclear device than
drones
to
are allowed to
fly a
float.
bunch
Are
of
they?
mysterious
Oh,
drones
okay.
around that aren't apparently getting the job
I've never been close to a drone, so I have no idea.
done, that are freaking people the fuck out, bringing a million times
And only
more
drones
attention
can
to the problem,
apparently
right? I don't
detect
know, it just seems kind of
radiation.
counterintuitive.
Really, that's a thing? They can actually detect radiation? That's crazy. I did not even know about that. It's like flying weed whackers. Oh, interesting.
But that's another one of the theories. So people are just
I have a tiny drone that I found. You know, I don't have the controller for it, but I found it. I actually managed to find a random drone on the floor. Like, it was like a couple years ago where I used to live in like two houses before. There was just a random, when I was throwing away the trash, there was just a random drone on the floor. It was still in good condition and everything, so I just kept it. I still have it. It's either on the shelf or it's over here on the desk over here. But I have the drone. It has a camera on it. Crow has a random. Yeah, I found a random drone, like literally, for smuggling cigarettes. Really?
wondering like what the
Interesting.
hell is going on. So the
It's a
thing
tiny-
is about
it's a
the
tiny
drones
drone,
is it's
though.
not like they're also happening in one location, right? Like people have filmed them like off the coast, people have filmed them above residential neighborhoods. Like I said, here in Ohio at Wright Patterson Air Force Base, they shut down the airspace at the base. So that's like a military installation
That's crazy.
that had a problem with this, right? It seems like they're not really picking a specific target. Now, another news story that has also developed alongside this that is, I think,
What do you mean by that? Huh? What do you mean by that?
probably pretty related. Apparently in Boston, which keep in mind, a lot of these sightings have been happening in the Northeast.
Oh, in
apparently
Boston.
2 men in Boston were just arrested by police, I think it was last night or the night before, because they were operating drones in an illegal area. And I guess the police caught them. They caught them with the drone in a backpack. And I mean, from what we know, they weren't.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it is. I bet you it's just a bunch of people just flying drones. It's just like, honestly, the people who are doing like these wild takes and like wild theories or something, but like they're looking for a bomb. There's a nuclear bomb or something, or a radiation bomb or something. You know, it's just like, no, it's just probably just a bunch of idiots flying drones at night.
weren't like fucking Iranian spies or anything like that. It was just 2 people. But even then, like, all of this news, all of this coverage
How would
about
you
it,
switch
right?
your
People are
weapon?
just wondering what the hell's going on. I'm wondering what the hell's going on. I'm sure you are too. Now, me personally, my belief is on this. Now, I don't really have any serious evidence to back this up, but like if
Ugh,
I had to
I
go to
hate that
Vegas
LNG,
and
to be
put my
honest.
money on like, you know, anything, personally, I would think that these drones are probably related to the US government. I don't think it's like a foreign drone invasion or anything like that. And the reason I think this is because if you look back through US history, right, like the government is constantly experimenting. And of course, the military, they're always experimenting with new technology. Drones are like a quickly evolving war tech, right? I mean, if you look
Yeah.
at Ukraine, the war there, it differs pretty dramatically from most previous wars before that.
Dude,
because
are we gonna get the dragonfly from like Black Ops 2? Dude, that'd be crazy. That'd be super cool though to see like a dragonfly come in real life from Black Ops 2. Cause like you get the dragonfly as a kill streak in Black Ops 2, where it's like it's a drone with a little gun on it. You know, that would be pretty cool. But who knows? Who knows?
You know, in
Who
like
knows?
World War II, it was all about like manpower and shit, right? You just, like D-Day, you had to have hundreds of thousands of people pushing the fucking beach. But now,
Yeah,
obviously,
it's probably not
you can
hard.
kill.
It's just the problem is the amount of ammo it has to carry on the drone, and then for the drone to still be able to fly normal with the amount of ammo it has to hold. Like if you look at it practically, right? Well, I don't know what kind of type of ammo it would actually hold specifically, right? So it's just kind of like, you know, because then it has to hold the gun too. It has to have like an actual like a makeshift gun for the drone, and then it has to have ammo for the gun. So I assume it's gonna weigh down the drone quite a lot. So I assume you have to, like, you know, you gotta compensate it to specifically, you know, kind of, you know, you just kind of distribute the weight pretty well on it. That's frankly pretty much it.
Enemies and complete missions without sending people directly there. And so drones, unmanned like UAVs and shit, they've become like all the talk of war because they can carry this shit out relatively cheap. You know, you're not losing men doing it. So me personally, like, I think it's something government related. Obviously, if they are experimenting with tech or something, they're not gonna come out and tell everybody like, oh yeah, we're testing our new experimental drones for the military, right? Because that would just freak people the fuck out, and of course it would give valuable information to the
Really people would be scared. I don't know. I guess the void is just different. I guess I don't know.
foreign adversaries that these would be intended to be used upon. And that's kind of like what the government does, right? Like if you look, like I said, back through history, they carry out these experiments, they do all these different things, and usually they don't inform the public. They don't let people know what's going on, even if it's something that's happening in like a civilian application. Like I said, it's not like these drones are only being spotted at Area 51 or Wright Pat Air Force Base. They've been seen in residential neighborhoods. They've been spotted pretty much everywhere, it seems like. And with all of the commotion going on about all this, people are just like throwing anything at the wall now, because that's kind of just what people do when situations like this unfold. People just want to fill in the blanks. They want to give an answer that seems the most conductive or reasonable. Obviously, people don't really love the idea of not knowing what's going on. I don't love it either. I would absolutely rather know what's happening than not, but it's a really weird situation because social media and just the way that people are, right? These kinds of things go from being like a few reports or whatever to suddenly everybody's seeing them. Everybody's posting pictures online. Some people, like I said, they're misidentifying like regular passenger planes. You have like people breaking down the proof of like, yeah, this is the lighting on this model plane. This is the lighting on this quote unquote drone. Now, some of them from the footage and the images and the reports that people have said, they're like defying typical physics, or they're like maneuvering how aircraft we know can't move, shit like that, right? It's a really confusing situation. And
but wasn't there that one dude that we saw a while ago that he was flying a drone? Well, not really a drone, a helicopter. He was flying a helicopter with like unimaginable feats and abilities. The way how he did it. Unfortunately, of course, he died. Of course, he got his head chopped off. But it was like that was a thing that you can technically, you know, do some crazy maneuvers. You know, it's possible. I don't know how practical it is or how often you can do it, but it's not out of the question. So at the end of the day, right, I'm not trying to believe on conspiracy theories, okay? I'm just kind of like throwing, you know, I'm kind of like playing devil's advocate at the moment right now, right? Just kind of like, oh, well, this could be this, you know, this could be that, you know. You don't know. Nobody knows. No one has an answer. Somebody
the longer
does.
it continues to go on, I think the worse this is going to get. Like I said, apparently this has been going on since like mid-November in some areas, but it's only now starting to hit the mainstream now that it's happening more.
Really? It's been happening since November? Oh, interesting.
Widespread. You have people talking about like, I'm gonna go shoot down one of them drones, man. I'm gonna shoot that fucking thing down and see what's going on. Now, I shouldn't have to say this, but if you're one of these people watching this video, do not take your gun outside and start shooting at the fucking drones in the sky.
True.
Now, I'm not saying this because no one wants to know what's happening. I'm saying this because there's a lot of like legal things that have to do with drones. Like they're pretty much technically viewed like aircraft and shit. So if you go out just shooting your fucking gun willy-nilly into the air, you're gonna get in trouble regardless. Like obviously someone owns that drone. They're gonna come back trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. If this was like some government experiment, yeah, yeah, now the FBI or the Men in Black are knocking at your fucking door. Not only that, but obviously shooting a firearm into the air, the bullet has to come back down at some point. So if you miss the drone, which a lot of people are going to do if they're shooting a handgun at a moving drone 200 feet in the sky, the bullet has to come back down. So you're risking hurting other people, fucking stuff up. It's really just not worth you going to jail trying to shoot down one of these drones to be the person who figured out the whole thing. Now, the part that worries a lot of people is, I think a lot of us remember this whole balloon shit last year, right? Where the Chinese were just flying these fucking balloons over the continental US, and it got to a point where we had to like send fighter jets up to shoot these fucking things down because they were like gathering data and doing reconnaissance with balloons and shit. So it seems pretty alike, you know what I mean? Like, there's an unexplained phenomenon with all these drones suddenly. No one really knows what's going on. But the issue is the sightings are becoming more and more common. Whether or not people are actually seeing the drones or whatever, these sightings are becoming more and more common. The public is getting more and more freaked out as time goes on. And who really knows how this is going to all end, right? Because I think personally, right, even if it wasn't a government experiment like I think it might be, if it was something that could harm everybody, the most worrisome part is the government is not going to let people know. You know what I mean? Like if the US government, for instance, has actually been 4D chessed by like the fucking Chinese or something, and they've penetrated the mainland United States with drones that are just flying around everywhere, right? That would be a pretty big security risk for the country. And not only that, but it would freak a lot of people the fuck out and piss them off if they realized, like, man, the government actually didn't protect us. The Chinese are flying drones over my house. Like, what's going on? So that's what's
Yeah, I've noticed that, like, you know, just humans in general are just kind of scared, you know. They kind of get a lot of emotional scaredness. I don't know, for me personally, I guess from the Void it's just completely different. Maybe because I'm like what, the second strongest in the Void, I guess. So there's not really much of an issue with it. So I don't know, it's just kind of like, I don't know, maybe the Void is just different. I don't know. Maybe because we play with different set of rules over there compared to here.
Worrisome. If it is actually something for people to be like scared about, you know, there's like actual imminent danger, I don't think anyone's ever actually going to know until the threat presents itself. But also at the same time, there's a good chance that this is not a real, like, legitimate life-ending threat. There's a chance that some people are just like out flying their drones to contribute to the chaos. There's the
that's what I feel like it is, you know. It's just a bunch of dudes flying their drones in the middle of the night, scaring people and everything, you know. That's what it basically is. I don't think it's some government conspiracy. I don't think it's like they're searching for a nuclear bomb, or it's the Chinese coming to invade the country or something, you know. No, I generally think it's just a bunch of people just flying their drones at night, being a bunch of dickheads and scaring everybody. It's like the ha 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 prank ya, bro. That's basically is what it is.
Possibility that people are misidentifying some of the aircraft. There's just so many different variables, and it's happening in such a widespread area now that people just like don't understand like what to do anymore, because this is one of those things I feel like, and most people feel like, you know, you hear about it one day in the news, we should know what's going on. Like the next couple days, we should have an update like, oh yeah, these drones, they're just a weather agency, you know, something, right? There should be some answer. But even though the government has been making statements like, oh, we're trying to get down to the root cause and figure out what's going on, there still is yet to be any answer.
That's what the government wants you to think, Ko is a government agent? Bro, if I was a government agent, I wouldn't be poor, okay? All right? I think I'd be pretty okay with money.
Like no one knows what the hell's going on, so pretty worrisome situation.
You think I'd be struggling over here with money, huh?
Pretty insane situation that's only really getting worse. But anyway, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel.
My people was right. The aliens are here.
Which at Sub to Optimus. Make sure to check out Optimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers.
Alright, it's not that crazy, okay? Alright? Honestly, it's just not that crazy. That's just the only thing. It's not that crazy. I don't think it's like government shenanigans or whatever, you know. It's just kind of like, you know, it's just like, you know, it's whatever, you know. I think it's just a bunch of people just being little shitheads, you know? See, look at this performance, great under coverage. Shut the fuck up. Oh my god, I swear, dude. Oh my god, you cannot believe me. You fucking little shithead. I'm about to fucking throw you in the void is what I'm gonna do to you. Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to talk about this. I just wanted to see the whole, wherever the fuck this is happening, the mysterious drone sightings. Apparently that's happening on the eastern side of the US, apparently. My voice is breaking because of yesterday, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, my voice is still trying to recover from yesterday's songs. But anyways, yeah, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff. Let me know what you guys think about the drones. You know, I'm kind of curious. I think I should probably fly my drone too as well to scare all the people too. Ooh, ooh. Anyways, that's the end of the video, and peace.